Emperor Crocodile spread the wings behind its back, standing still as it stared ahead. A stream of white smoke escaped from its mouth. In the vast expanse of space, the shattered body of the Titan of the Mountains floated, its fragments gradually coming back together. Emperor Crocodile stood frozen, astonished by the sight. The body of the Titan of the Mountains reassembled into one piece and slowly returned to its original form. The body had been completely restructured. Witnessing this, a flicker of killing intent flashed through Emperor Crocodile's eyes. It couldn't help but mutter in awe, "You are truly strong. Thinking that I'll have to kill you soon makes me feel a bit regretful." Even the nearly pulverized head of the Titan of the Mountains had mostly recovered. His two eyes shone brightly once again. The blue fragments gathered around his body, seemingly trying to completely heal him. Emperor Crocodile widened its eyes in disbelief. What? Such abundant life force! Just then, Yuziu suddenly appeared. He opened his mouth, and spiritual energy shone within. Under his control, countless golden tentacles shot outward, extending rapidly. They rushed forward and wrapped around the regenerating body of the Titan of the Mountains. More and more tentacles appeared, eventually encasing his entire body in a giant cocoon. Emperor Crocodile, seeing Yuziu standing next to it, spoke up, "Master." As the tentacles tightened around him, the strength within the Titan of the Mountains was gradually drained away, and it felt as if the world itself had lost all color. The Titan of the Mountains shuddered in fear, thinking, "What is this? My spiritual energy is being drained." Yuziu narrowed his eyes and watched the Titan closely. Then, a rift tore through the void, and the tentacles dragged the Titan of the Mountains through it. After sending him off, Yuziu finally spoke, "He's not easy to deal with. This one is more troublesome than expected. For now, banish him to the Void Realm." White Tiger flew up to Yuziu's divine tree and called out, "Divine tree!" It blurted a suggestion. "Just kill him." Yuziu shot a glare at the tiger and, annoyed, slapped it with a tentacle. "You'd better shut up. Just hearing you talk gives me a headache." Royal Insect, much more sensible, spoke up, "The divine domain of the giants is not to be trifled with. If we kill him, we might spark a full-scale war with the Titan clan." Seizing the moment, it continued, "There are 12 gods in the Titan clan. Each of them possesses a divine artifact. Even our insect tribe knows very little about the Titan gods." The insect princess turned to Yuziu and cautiously suggested, "Master, how about using him as a bargaining chip in negotiations with the Titan clan? Wouldn't that bring greater benefits?" Her words seemed to enlighten Yuziu. His eyes lit up as he looked at her. Meanwhile, in the Titan Star region, a land filled with massive creatures resembling moving rock formations, one of them with orange eyes spoke up suspiciously, "I can't sense the spiritual energy of the Titan of the Mountains. What's going on?" Then, his voice turned furious, "Is this the work of those damned insects?" But almost immediately, he shook his head. No, they couldn't possibly have defeated the Titan of the Mountains. Standing among his kin, he barked out orders. "First, investigate the whereabouts of the Titan of the Mountains. Also check if the Angelic Star region had any involvement." He then turned to another who looked like he was forged from lava and stone. "Next, summon the Celestial Seer on the front lines. Have him divine the current condition of the Titan of the Mountains." Even as he gave orders, unease stirred in his heart. If something truly had happened, it would be the greatest loss their Titan clan had ever suffered. Elsewhere, on a lush green plain, the massive divine weapon once wielded by the Titan of the Mountains stood firmly planted in the earth. Panda gritted his teeth, trying to lift it, and screamed, "Ah!" The next second, he collapsed to the ground, drenched in sweat, staring up at the colossal weapon as he panted, "No good. No good. I can't lift it at all." At that moment, Golden Ant suddenly appeared behind him. "I'll do it." Hearing someone arrive, Panda turned his head to look. Golden Ant walked up to the giant divine weapon, trying with all its might to lift it. "Ayaha!" Its scream echoed into the sky. But even so, the colossal divine weapon didn't budge in the slightest. Embarrassed, Golden Ant quickly made an excuse. "I have something to do. I'll be going now." With that, it flapped its wings and flew off, completely ignoring Panda's dagger-like glare. Yuziu wiped sweat from his brow, looking a bit deflated. "That's a transcendent grade divine weapon, Tier 7. He murmured while standing not far away. watching the massive weapon that had been relocated to this spot. How could it possibly be lifted so easily? Yet, there were still some who didn't know their limits and wanted to try. That one was Bull Demon. He slapped his palm against the divine weapon, producing a loud thud. The next moment, he opened his mouth wide and let out a roar of effort. Boom! The ground beneath his feet cracked into pieces from the pressure. Gritting his teeth, Bull Demon channeled all his strength to try lifting the divine weapon. Golden Ant heard the commotion and couldn't help but look over in astonishment. Panda clenched his jaw, unable to believe what he was seeing. He lifted it. Yuziu's eyes widened in shock, cold sweat forming on his forehead. What the hell? The very next second, Bull Demon clenched his teeth as sweat poured down like a waterfall. He growled, "No good, too heavy." Boom! The massive divine weapon slammed back to the ground, its weight blasting the earth into fragments and sending clouds of dust flying into the air. Bull Demon stood next to the wrecked ground, panting heavily. The feeling of the weapon's immense weight pressing down on his body still lingered. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he muttered inwardly, "Truly worthy of being a Tier 7 divine weapon, the weight is unreal." Just then, a figure suddenly flew in and landed behind Bull Demon. "Leave it to me." Hearing this, Bull Demon turned around. The newcomer was none other than Yuziu, clad in his usual black cloak. His bright eyes glinted as he said, "Give me a few more days. I'll forge each of you a weapon most suited to you." Hearing this, Yuziu extended several tentacles and wrapped them around the massive divine weapon, lifting it into the air. Dust and soil scattered in all directions. Yuziu looked at Yuziu and said, "Take it." With those words, he flung the divine weapon toward Yuziu using the tentacles. Seeing this scene, Panda, Golden Ant, and Bull Demon all froze in place. Breaking into a cold sweat, Panda screamed at the top of his lungs, "Run!" All three immediately turned tail and bolted, but Yuziu stood firm, unafraid, and extended his hand to catch the massive weapon directly, a divine weapon so heavy that none of them could lift it. Yet Yuziu easily caught it through sheer magnetic force alone. That alone was enough to show how terrifyingly powerful he was. Yuziu, having no desire to make things difficult for him, simply said, "I'm handing it over to you. Do with it as you please." Yuziu looked straight at Yuziu and replied, "Thank you, master."